generations, remember, we didn't used to be good at queuing. We didn't used to be an orderly people. We were famous for rioting and cutting kings' heads off. And things settled down extraordinary in the processes of civilization of the 19th century, of industrial society, of social discipline, of the monarchy that becomes representative, all of these things, of proper patterns of local government and welfare and so on. And clearly, the British queue is slightly a myth. It's, of course, ingrained in us by the Second World War. And the rationing that continues beyond that. But yes, I mean, the lying in state is, I think everybody's now beginning to get this. Victoria does not lie in state. The first lying in state in Westminster Hall, royal lying in state, because there'd been a prime ministerial one for the great Victorian Prime Minister Gladstone in 1898, is the man who'd actually is for the man who'd actually paid honour to him in just the same way that the princes are going to do to Her late Majesty today. And that was the then Prince of Wales, who becomes Edward VII. And when he dies in 1910, he gets the first lying in state. And he also establishes the record until now for the number of people. It's somewhere in the high 300,000s, right. You know, sort of 370, 400,000. But it looks to me, again, I haven't seen the figures. You were telling me before we went on air that the estimate is something of the order
about 750,
three quarters of a million. So you're looking at whatever it is, almost doubling.
Yeah,
you're looking, in fact, you are looking at doubling.
Yeah, and it's quite fascinating. I have to say, Jack, I'm a little bit disappointed with myself. I'm kicking myself because a couple of days ago I was down at the queue. It was 2 miles long, and I thought to myself, shall I come back after work, or, you know, what shall I do? And I didn't do it. And now when I hear about queues that are 4 or 5 miles long, 24-hour waiting, I think, oh, I missed my opportunity. Did you go? Are you going to go?
No, I haven't been down, unfortunately, just haven't had the opportunity to go down. But everything I've heard from people, and I see on Twitter, and you see, it's funny, everyone's obsession with, you know, queues themselves are a very British thing. But I love the fact that the media themselves are absolutely obsessed with the queue. And you wake up every morning and the media are doing different stories on how long it is.
There's nothing else to report.
Yeah.
It has been the thing, hasn't it, with this whole event? It's been very carefully calculated. That it's been calculated for this. It's been calculated for rolling news. There is a news story, and the story at the moment is the queue. How big is it? Has it got? You can practically see there's been a race. When will it get to Southwark? When will the park be full? It's. I think there's been a measure of very shrewd news management as well as genuine feeling, and I think it's the two that have worked together.
Indeed.
Yeah, but this is the first that, you know, I'm, you know, late 20s now, first time I've ever seen anything like this. You know, I imagine David can correct me on this, but I imagine last time something on this scale, not as big as this, but maybe Winston Churchill's state funeral.
The Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother.
Or the Queen Mother's, really, which I was
but just 200,000 for that. And again, I didn't go to that, but my late partner, a young man, he would have been then about, you know, he would have been then in his mid-30s, went out of the sort of things you've been talking about. Partly respect, partly curiosity, let's face it, but partly also an experience.
Yeah.
And this seems to me to be the thing that's most coloured people's reactions in all of this. This has now become a great experience, a memory that will be epoch-making in people's lives.